And all right, now it's time for our special weekly segment from Oakley's Texas Bar and Grill. So we will head out there for the action. As we know, a lot of teams are on a bye this week. Now, I know you were a former coach, and so when you have a bye week, you can take advantage of it in a lot of different aspects. So out of our Central Texas high school football teams, who do you think will take the most advantage of this bye week, and who's going to benefit the most from it?
Well, I think there's several teams out there, and I don't know that you can just circle one team because of the fact that, you know, as a coach, you look at what you've got to get done in your non-district schedule, and then what you have to try to do in your district schedule to try to align to make your way into the playoffs. The bye week gives you an opportunity to do a couple of things in that scenario. It gives you an opportunity to get healthy, for one, if you've had some bumps and bruises. It also gives you a chance to catch your breath after going through two-a-days, after going through the first quarter of school and everything else that you've got to do. And speaking of school, you can work on grades too, because you want everybody to be eligible to go through the rest of the season. So there's an opportunity to work on grades that week. And just go back to fundamentals. Do tackling drills, do throwing drills, do just the basics of football. Get away from trying to scheme anything and let the pressure off your kids a little bit, and then get back to a scouting report the next week. So I think it benefits all of them. I don't know that any one team, or looking at any district, it really helps anybody more than anybody else if you do it right and if you take advantage of the bye week.
Okay, no, I like that answer. I mean, that is very true. And coming from a former coach himself, I mean, teams can absolutely benefit from that. I am going to focus in on one team, though, the Midway Panthers. I mean, we know how incredibly talented Shane Anderson is as a head coach. We saw what he did at Waco Connolly. And so this being his first year at Midway, I mean, that district is no joke. I mean, they have some of the best teams in the state. And I was actually at that game where they played Odessa Permian, and they were in it. I mean, I was there until the half, and there was no score in the first quarter, and it was back and forth, back and forth. I mean, battling. They were forcing turnovers and everything like that. So unfortunately, you know, they came up with that Duncanville loss, 76-0. And I mean, anytime you're playing Duncanville, I mean, they're a household name in high school football. So I think that this week they can actually, you know, get things like you were saying, doing basic fundamentals, tackling drills, whatever it may be. And that was a great point as well about having your grades in check. On a side note, I saw that it is Shane Anderson's birthday weekend. So, you know, that's, you know, maybe his team will do something fun for him. I'm not quite sure, but absolutely the Midway Panthers, I'm looking forward to seeing what, you know, they can do the rest of this season from the bye.
Well, you know, being in that district of doom is not easy for anybody, and especially a first-year head coach coming back to a program that was in need of a jump start. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. They probably needed it maybe more than anybody in that district,
yes,
so that will help them just to hit the reset button mentally, physically, and everything throughout it, and then go out through the rest of your schedule and do the best you can. That's a great point for Midway, because they probably did need that reset button.
Without a doubt. And thanks again. Former coach always knows the best kind of advice. And thanks, as always, for joining me at Oakley's Texas Bar and Grill. I appreciate your time, Ward Whites.
Thanks, Mandy.